Hey everybody, welcome back to the underground lair here at Stringman Guitars. Wow, I went out today to take the dogs out and it's in the 60s. I couldn't believe it. I was warm out there with a hoodie. Anyhow, the warmth hasn't penetrated the underground lair here. It's still cold, got the space heater, sorry for the noise. Today we have ourselves a Taylor Acoustic. No electronics. It's a 310 model. So let's take a look at this thing. Beautiful guitar. It was set up last in 2023. It's spent a lot of time in a case with a humidifier. You guys gotta, if you're in the Northeast or Rust Belt area, you gotta have a humidifier in your guitar case. And this thing has really been taken care of well. Let's get some measurements and see where we are so we can see where we're going to go. First of all, relief. These guitars like to have a really flat neck, if possible. I've had Taylors that go out of here with less than 7 thousandths of relief. This one has a little more than 10 thousandths. So we're going to tighten the truss rod. Stringjoy 1254s. These are the Foxwood coated phosphor bronze. Balanced. They are the hex core. Very much like your Elixir, which that's what's on here now, but they don't have the heavy coating like Elixirs have. They're a lighter coating, and from what I've seen in reviews, they tend to hold on to the coating. They don't flake off with playing. Now this one doesn't have any flaking, but he's not played it very much since it's been set up. But it has moved, so we're going to do the setup on it. So we're going to tighten the truss rod. We're going to get the strings off of here. He said he'd like to have the bass side brought down a little bit. Let's take a look and see what we got there. Measuring at the body joint, we have a little more than 6/64, so I can see his point there. And we're at 4/64 on the bass side. So we can do that. There's no string buzz. I've already played it. And the people who set it up last did the dreaded luthier's nut, which I think is ridiculous. With wound strings, all you need is 2 wraps, 2 wraps, 2 wraps, 2 wraps, and then about 4 wraps on your plain strings, and it ain't going anywhere. It's just the way it is. So let me go ahead and get the strings off of here, polish your frets. There are a couple of frets that are doing a little bit of a sprout thing here, so we're going to clean those up with my little trusty file and get this thing rolling. So you don't need to see me getting bloody by undoing the luthier's nut or knot and all that stuff. You've seen me unstring and string guitars plenty of times before. So we'll be back once we do that. Alright, so we oiled the fingerboard, we polished the frets with micro mesh little squares I got cut out. We went from 2400 grit up to 8000 grit, and man, they look polished, huh? And we oiled the fingerboard with what is it? Music Nomad F1 oil. Got the top all cleaned up. Also oiled the bridge with the same F1. And we're going to put in our strings. keep the bridge pins in a little box, keep them in order. And what I do is I come up here one post past and I make a bend. And I got my base side tuner set to where the string goes in at 1 o'clock, and where it comes out obviously would be at the 7 o'clock position. And I bend it and make a Z like that. And that should give me about 2 wraps. And these tuners, the bushings are getting a little bit long in the tooth. They were, most all the buttons were loose. Pull these up straight so they're not in the way and they're not going to scratch the pegboard, peg head, headstock, whatever you want to call it. I checked to make sure all the bushings were tight, which they were from the last time. Usually whenever you get your guitar and it's new, you'll find that oftentimes when new guitars do their extra shrinkage, you'll get a little bit of fret sprout and your tuning bushings will be loose. So maybe the first couple string changes, snug those down. You don't crank them, snug them. And also check your tuner buttons to make sure that they're not loose. You might have to tighten those just a little bit. You don't over tighten them because you don't want to kill the little rubber washers or plastic washers or whatever they happen to be using. So that's basically how I do it. You don't need a bunch of wraps, and you don't need the luthier's nut or knot, because the wound strings grab a hold of themselves. Ain't going nowhere. Been doing this a long time and have never had a problem with that. So I don't know why people do that. I don't know. So I'm going to do this 5 more times. The 2 plain strings, I'm going to go, instead of 1 passed, I'm going to go 2 passed on those to give me more wraps, because they have nothing to grab onto just by the winds. We'll check to see if we won the truss rod lottery, and if not, we could always back off a little bit. Okay, so we're all strung up and beautiful, and let's check our relief. We're at a little over 10 thou, 7th fret. A good goop on there. No, there's a 10 thou. Yep. Okay, so we're lifting that string up there. I got a, what did it say, 7 thou. And that's slipping right in there. String height. Tailors like to go flat. Make the neck as flat as possible. String height at the body joint is 5/64, and we're still at 4/64 at the treble side. So winner chicken dinner there. Let's make sure let's get rid of this snark because I don't like those. These tuners are outstanding. Sounds like an acoustic guitar, boys and girls. There's no fret buzz. So yeah, Taylor 310 acoustical guitar. If you like what you see here, please hit the like, the subscribe, and hit the bell. I certainly would love you for a long time. If you're in a Pittsburgh area or reasonable driving distance, I don't take anything shipped in, you want your guitar brought back up to par, you can send me a message on the Facebooks, Instant Messenger, or you can go to stringmanguitars.com. The website will have all my contact information. I have a feeling, since we're getting all the warm weather swings and stuff like that, we're going to have a lot of appointments start to fill up, and because that causes guitars to become a little wonky. So go ahead and give us a ringy dingy and we'll get you in here. Take care of the old folks because they are indeed special. Love your neighbor like you love yourself, and most of all, you keep on being awesome. Peace. Have a very good rest of your week.